Welcome everyone. House of the Dragon Season 2 finale may not have provided the action some viewers were hoping for, but there's plenty to look forward to. With several events and arcs prepared for Season 3, though Season 2 promised action and war following the Blacks and Greens split and the start of the Dance of the Dragons. The season kept battles sparse. Episode 4's Battle of Rookrest was a stunning and engaging spectacle, but it remained season's main set piece and left a desire for more through the final four episodes. The HBO prequel series is based on Fire and Blood, an extension of George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire book series, which chronicles the reign of the Targaryen dynasty. If House of the Dragon is expected to run for 2 or more seasons, it will have to pick up the pace to include many of the dance's key moments. This leaves a significant number of battles and moments to be expected in Season 3. Here we go. House of the Dragon Season 2 ending has heavily alluded to Rhaenyra retaking King's Landing. Her side now has a notable advantages in dragon strength, a navy and an army. Not to mention, Alicent has directly prepared Rhaenyra for this to transpire, claiming that she will surrender the Red Keep upon her arrival. Compared to the book, House of the Dragon's timeline has shifted the order of certain events, and Rhaenyra's capture of King's Landing seems to be happening just before other major events. This could happen as early as a Season 3 premiere, excitedly allowing many of the main characters to once again find themselves under the same roof. Daemon aids Rhaenyra in capturing the city in the book, and Alicent will also be taken prisoner upon their arrival. The biggest action set piece of Season 3 could be the Battle of Gelat, which offers something none of the best battles in the Game of Thrones franchise have had yet. An all-out naval confrontation. House of the Dragon Season 2 finale saw Talion Lannister delegating with the Triarchy, who set sail for the Gelat in the closing montage. Corlys Velaryon established his blockade of the Gelat in the Season 2 premiere, cutting off King's Landing's supply lines and causing the city to starve. The Triarchy is the Greens' counter to this, and they will come to head with the Velaryon fleet on the seas. The Blacks will send forth their dragon raiders to aid the fleet, resulting in what could be one of the most visually astonishing sequences in fantasy television. Another fateful but ultimately less climatic battle has been set in motion by the Season 2 finale. Jason Lannister marches the Lannister forces into the Riverlands, where they will eventually be met by bannermen of House Tully in a conflict called the Battle at the Red Fork. This could have been an interesting battle to include in Season 2's ending, as it doesn't require any dragon CGI. The Battle at the Red Fork sees the forces of the Westerland and the Riverlands meeting for a brief conflict, resulting in the death of Lord Jason Lannister. He is the most notable character involved. So it could be a relatively quick battle sequence, but it importantly sets the Westerlands into a craze, causing the Greyjoy to get involved in the war as they start raiding Lannisport amidst of the chaos. Another battle set up in the finale's closing montage is the Battle of the Honey Vein, which will see the Hightower forces and Prince Daeron Targaryen diving into the conflict for the first time. Daeron is the third son of Alicent Hightower and King Viserys Targaryen, who spent the duration of the show thus far at Old Town living with relatives. The finale saw his blue dragon, Tessarion, taking flight along with the Hightower army, and they will be heading straight into the battle early in Season 3. Lord Lyman Beesbury was a Rhaenyra loyalist killed by Criston Cole in the small council meeting following King Viserys' death. In return, House Beesbury finds themselves loyal to the Blacks during the dance, and confronts the forces of House Hightower in the Reach, along with House Tarly and other local allies. This battle could end up tied to Otto Hightower's mysterious disappearance and captivity, as he could be held at nearby castle. Lord Cregan Stark teased the arrival of Winterwolves in the House of the Dragon Season 2 premiere, setting up the North's involvement in the war. As he describes them, the Winterwolves are essentially older northern warriors who are vicious fighters prepared to die in the conflict and are sworn to Rhaenyra. They are one of the smaller armed forces during the dance, but they pack a punch, and the season 2 finale sees them crossing the Twins and heading into the Riverlands. The Winterwolves will be moving about the Riverlands in season 2, combating the Lannister forces and Kristen Cole's Hightower forces. They will essentially be an exciting team to root for going forward, as though they aren't currently traveling with any major characters. Audiences love House Stark, and they will be devastating for the Greens. Along with Daemon's Riverlands army, the Winterwolves will be the thorn in the green side going forward. House of the Dragon Season 2 finale saw King Aegon II fleeing King's Landing with Lord Larys Strong, and they could both end up being less prevalent during Season 3, as a lot still needs to happen before Aegon really becomes important again. He sustained serious injuries at Brookrest, and the show seems to have drastically altered his arc by proclaiming his dragon Sunfire as dead. Larry's arc also seems to be diverting because he remains in King's Landing in the book after helping Aegon escape. Eventually, Aegon will travel to Dragonstone and receive aid from the traitor Sir Alfred Broom. Season 2 foreshadowed this by showing Broom's treachery in the finale, with the Winds of the God's Eye even whispering traitor at him. In the book, he helps Aegon hide out at Dragonstone, and when Rhaenyra eventually returns, he sets a trap for her, allowing Aegon to capture her. Another plot point where House of the Dragon seems to be differing from the book is Rhaenyra claiming the wild dragon Sheepstealer. In the book, Sheepstealer is claimed by a character named Nettles, who seems to be omitted from the show. Rhaenyra eventually hatches her own dragon named Morning, but is too young to be flown during the dance. Having Rhaenyra tame Sheepstealer in the Vale is likely a method to incorporate the character into the action sooner. The final moment saw Rhaenyra meeting Sheepstealer face to face after teasing their potential bond for the previous few episodes. Similarly, Baela Targaryen rides the dragon Moondancer in House of the Dragon Season 2, who's much younger in the book and doesn't take flight this early in the war. The show seems to be expediting their dragon arcs to involve them more as characters, and it will be interesting to see how the show handles another massive dragon joining Rhaenyra's already powerful side. The sowing of the seeds was one of the most exciting events in House of the Dragon Season 2, as the Lawborn Targaryen bastards Hugh and Ulf walked away with the dragons Vermithor and Silverwing. While they are currently on Rhaenyra's side, the TV series had laid the foundation for their futures. With many discussions about the risk of allowing commoners to ride dragons, Rhaenyra has made men of a questionable character some of the most powerful in the Seven Kingdoms, and it will be costly. Hugh and Ulf eventually betray Rhaenyra at the First Battle of Templeton, where they help slay a Hightower onslaught, then turn and set a town ablaze. Season 3 will continue to explore these characters, but the foundation is already there for their turnaround. Wolf doesn't seem particularly loyal to anyone, while Hugh seems slightly disgruntled by Rhaenyra's willingness to kill innocents. Of course, there will be some more connecting tissue laid out over time, possibly involving Hugh's wife, who is originally to the TV series. As I mentioned, the Greens will retake Harrenhal with little to no resistance. Here, Kristen Cole and Aemond will have a fateful disagreement. As a call suggests, they return south to rejoin forces with the larger Hightower host. While Aemond wants a revenge against the Riverlands for tricking him to losing King's Landing, Aemond execute Sir Simon Strong and develop a romantic relationship with Alice Rivers, while Cole retreat his army. Aemond's refusal to guide Cole back south resulted in Kristen Cole and his army being wiped out entirely at an event known as the Butcher's Ball. This could happen at some point in Season 3 and will likely be one of the most delightful moments for House of the Dragon audience, as he is quickly become the show's most hated character. The fate of Jan Hightower is still to be determined, as his character has become very different from the book counterpart. Not only has the Battle above the God's Eye been established strategically, the fateful duel between Daemon and Aemon Targaryen has been directly announced by Alice Rivers and Helena Targaryen. Both Damon and Aemond are told blatantly that they are going to die at the god's eye at some point in season 2, and their final duel could work as an incredible climax for season 3. Aemon has already sent Kristen Cole out to retake Harrenhal, and he will eventually join him in doing so. However, neither Daemon nor the Riverland army will be there. The Riverland's forces will be crushing the Lannisters further west, while Daemon will have flown to King's Landing and helped Rhaenyra take the capital. In response, Aemon rides Vhagar around the Riverlands, lighting everything he can on fire until Daemon eventually flies out to meet him.